We now want our Dino to jump. For this to happen, we need to use Unity's new input system. Click on your Dino Game object and add a player input component. You can go to the assets and add the input system action asset. This will add the built-in input actions already set by Unity. If you double click on it, it will show you the same. As we just need the jump action, open up to check which button is attached to jumping. You can close this tab. Now, let's jump back to the code. After the start function, add a public void jump function. This function will require the input action callback's context variable, which in our case is space. Now, a simple if statement can help us jump. Write the following line of code. You are basically creating a new vector2 value which keeps your x values constant and your y value to the new jump height. You can declare the jump height variable at the top and make it 10f to start with. Go back to the editor and within the Dino Game object, look into the player input. Inside events and player, check jump. Drag the Dino Game object and inside the Dino behavior option, select jump. This will tell Unity to run the jump function once space is pressed. If you play your game, you should see the Dino jumping. However, if you jump whilst in the air, it will keep on jumping. So to avoid it, we need to check if it is grounded or not. We can now work on the update function. And as we are dealing with physics object, it is best to work with fixed object. Create a raycast hit 2D component. This will shoot a line from the origin. If the line intersects any particular object, we can do as we want. In our case, if it intersects the ground, we want to know that it is not in the air and we can jump. Instantiate the raycast hit 2D component with the following line of code. Let's declare the ray length and ground layer variables at the top. Instead of making them public, we can create a serialized field which will allow them to stay private, but they can be adjusted from the game window itself. Now, we can add it to the isGrounded variable with player raycast collider is not equals to null, which basically means check if the collider responds to the ground or not. If it does, then the Dino is grounded, and vice versa. Finally, add the isGrounded variable into the jump equation with the callback's context started. If you want to check the length of the raycast, you can create a debugger for it. Simply write debug.drawRay, transfer position vector2 down multiplied by the ray length, and choose a color. In our case, I am choosing yellow. You should see a yellow line being drawn from the center of the Dino. Finally, we now need to tell Unity where our ground is. Go to the ground game object and in the layer option, click on add layer. In the user layer 6, add ground. Click on the ground game object once again and make sure to assign the ground layer to it. Go to your Dino Game object and select ground in the ground layer option. Now, your Dino will not fall off of the ground and it will only jump once it falls to the ground.
If you are liking this content, you can help me out by simply liking and subscribing. If not, leave a comment on how I can improve. Thank you.